Hey everybody, it's Brooke with Mrs. Cog Hill Farm, and I'm in the woods again, if you can't tell. I'm down here where this tank is, and I told y'all in the last video, my goal was to get this old tank out of the woods and try to figure out what in the world they had going on down here. So I didn't bring my skid steer. I walked down here first. I've got a chain in the bucket of the skid steer with anticipation that I'm going to be able to get it out today. But I noticed something that I haven't noticed before, and this has got me even more puzzled. So the stream is right beside where this tank is, and I've showed y'all before that there's a little piece of pipe coming off the back side of that tank that they've got there that comes down into the stream. Well, right here, buried under the water is, I don't have on waterproof shoes. I'm gonna straddle this little creek, but look, that's a piece of metal. I don't know where it goes or why it's there, but obviously it had something to do with the big metal tank here. So I am going to head on back up to where the skid steer's parked. I did order the glass for the boo-boo that I made when the, well actually the tree, it was the tree's fault. A tree limb went through the side of the glass, and it is tempered glass, so it didn't shatter and come in all inside on me, but it's in the same position as it was when I left it. And the glass is on order, and when it gets here, it says it comes with adhesive and instructions, so we should be able to put it in ourselves and carry on. I do know that Chip, the previous owner, had to replace the windshield once, and that seems to be something that does happen. The glass gets busted because you're out here in the woods and you're cleaning up debris, and you know, something hits it. And something else that was brought to my attention by my good friend Catherine over at G&G, it was very cold that day. She said with it being so cold, it probably didn't take as much of an impact to shatter or break the glass, I should say. Shattered it into a million pieces, but it was tempered so it stayed together. Probably didn't take that much to do that. So I'm using that scenario to my advantage to say it wasn't my fault. It was the cold weather's fault. But got a goal today. I think that I've cleared enough of a path to get it out of here. Now I could go up this hill right here behind us, but I haven't done any work cleaning that area. And I just feel like I would be better off if I'm on flat ground. Hopefully this doesn't turn into another day of something happens and I have to stop what I'm doing, like rescue Pink the cat, as in the last video. Now, we will talk about Pink after this, but first we're gonna see if we can't get Bobby C back in the woods to do what it's intended to do. And that's not tear anything up. Let's make progress. I did intend on showing y'all my new shirt, which is designed by Jacqueline for us, and it is chickens. It says follow your heart and choose love. So what a perfect saying, and chickens just happen to be my thing, and it may be yours too, but you can order that at coghillfarm.com. Comes in a couple of different colors, so you choose. I'm wearing a microphone, so hopefully y'all can't hear the wind, but it is really picking up as we've got some frigid weather where it doesn't get above freezing on one day this weekend. So I am recording this video a little bit before the weather hits. I do have the chain in the bucket, which I'm going to get out because I might need that bucket. I might need the bucket to push some trees down or clear a better path, who knows. So I'm going to put the chain on the inside of Bobby C, and we're going to roll on down there. I got a little bit different view out my side glass this time than I did last time, and I got a little hole back here. That just adds for a little extra ventilation. As long as that glass doesn't decide to come out while I'm driving, I think it's going to stay. We'll be in good shape. All right, put our safety belt on. Put our code in. And hope she cranks up on the first try. Wait on the glow plugs, and here we go. ready to roll. I have officially made it to the tank. I'm sitting in Bobby C. I've got the bucket right in front of me, and I've got a chain in the floorboard here that I intend on trying to lift it up first, because I want to see where it's connected and what it goes to, and not try to put it in the bucket. So here goes, y'all. I don't know what kind of wood that is I got into, but it is some strange smelling stuff. I don't even know how to describe the smell. It's just different. So I think there's a hole up under here. Oh yeah, there's a hole up under there. Go around this way. See if I see my chain. See where it is. Let's see if I can put it under there a little further. There we go. All right, I got it. Got it. It sounds hollow. I don't think it's as heavy as what I think it is. I think it's down in the mud. I don't want to break it either in case we want to reuse it. Cog Hill moonshine. You never know. All right, let's see. Where can I hook it on the bucket? I'm just going to hook it so I can pull it out. All right, my camera might fall over because I got quite a few limbs, but I am going to try to pull it straight back. Alright, so the hose just broke off. You can see the hose that was on it just broke off, and it is dry up in there. Let's see. See if we can't see the hose. That's a stick. Was that all it was? I want to know where the hose was. I am very confused now. There's got to be more hose than that. What did this metal have to do with it? I believe that is where that hose went down in the ground. Right in that hole. But I don't see any more pipe. It's just a little bit too cold to be digging around in there. Ooh, I see something cool. Y'all can't tell me that salamanders are not the coolest creature. Look at that. I didn't hurt you, did I, buddy? Why are you not moving? There you go. They won't hurt you. He's out of his hole and it's winter time, so he's moving kind of slow. But they are so cool. To me, they are. I feel like with this piece of metal that's down here in the stream right behind me, propped up like that, I feel like they were trying to dam up the water and still let the flow go through it, but create a deeper spot, because that's the side that the actual tubing was on. So the water would have been deeper on that side. I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know that when I get this tank up to the house that I'm going to have any further answers about what was going on in the Cog Hill 40 before we were tenants. It may have been something that we choose to not know about, or it may be something just totally legit. I don't know. I can see some writing right here. It looks like that said Birmingham, Alabama. I don't know what it said though. And is this aluminum? I unhooked the chain off the bucket of the skid steer. When I bent down, I smelled that strong smell again that was coming off the wood, and I found it. It is so weird smelling. I don't know how to describe it though. And I think this is either a sycamore or maybe a birch. And I say that because the bark is just absolutely slick. And when we bought our property, actually, no, take that back. When we lived at our old farm, we had a lot of sycamore trees, and Jason's daddy would refer to them as slickamores because they looked like the bark was slick. Now, I may be way off on the identification, but I know it's got a strange smell, so I'm going to try to figure that out. In the meantime, if y'all know what this is, just by identifying the bark and the inside, let me know. I feel like the smell is coming from the outside rather than the inside. It's the bark, where the bark's peeled back. That's where the strong, I don't know what it smells like. I'm gonna stick this in here so I can ask Jason, and that may save me a little bit of research time that I need time on Bobby C. I don't need time researching. I decided to just try to move Bobby C close to it to see if I can't just get it in the bucket without trying to pull it with the chain. I don't know if that's possible. Let's see if I can't give it a push here. It's pretty much in on that one side. All right, I think that'll work. I might have more than just the tank, but nonetheless, it's in the bucket, which I couldn't figure out how I was gonna hook the chain around with all the hydraulic stuff right there in the middle. I don't want to mess any of that up. Lo and behold, I've been told I did enough damage already, so minimal today is the goal. Minimal. And I found a small piece of bark that I could take back with me that's not so big. Same thing. And y'all, the whole cab smells like this. I gotta figure this out. I'm not gonna smell it again. We're gonna see if we can't get this lifted up. Let's see here. Gotta put that on, take our emergency brake off, and tilt. Is it gonna go? I'm bringing some trees with me, but I got it. I'll raise it up a little. All right, off we go. So y'all, the last video, I had that little handy dandy magnetic camera that I could stick on the front of Bobby C. And this time I didn't have that, so I couldn't video me coming out of the woods with it. But just know that I made it. I've got the tank up here, and I tried something. Don't they say that, I may be wrong about this, my little microphone that I'm holding in my hand has got a magnet on the back. Don't they say that aluminum doesn't stick to metal? Am I right about that? Because if that's the case, then it is aluminum. So I'm gonna roll it off because it's either gonna go to scrap metal or we're gonna figure out what to do with it. And this is where the scrap metal is up here near Implement Alley. Sounds like it's got something in it. Hear that? There's nowhere to grab down there. Maybe it's just dirt. Sounds like rocks. Now, how would rocks get in there and why? Maybe it's just dirt. All right, y'all, so I'm gonna leave the tank down here until we figure out, like I said, what we're gonna do with it. I'm going to get this piece of wood out of Bobby C because Jason is up trying to get things winterized and ready for the lowest temperatures of the year. It's not the low that's going to be so bad. It's that it's not going to be above freezing all day. So that's what we're being prepared for. You know, it's the Victorian crown pigeons. Well, they are not cold hardy. So it is an ordeal to try to get them into the room in that purple pigeon palace without them going crazy. That's just the bottom line. They're not tame birds, and we hate to have to move them, but it is something that has to be done. So Jason is trying to get that room ready for them because it's going to be 2 days that they're going to need to stay inside. The winds are going to be up there, and we just want to keep them as comfortable as possible with the least amount of stress as possible. Not for us, for them. Now on to Pink. I saw the stray cat. The stray cat went into the barn. Pink was scared, and I could already sense something was wrong with Pink. So I told y'all in that video I was going to go get a trap from Catherine, and I was going to trap the cat. Lots of things have happened since then. First of all, I didn't go get the trap. And the reason being, before that day was over, I saw another cat. A second cat. Looked very similar to the first one that I saw, except it didn't have a tail, meaning it was a bobtail cat. Well, since then, the next day, Jason and I saw 2 more cats. 2 more cats, y'all. That makes a total of 4. 4 cats. And I had not gotten the trap from Catherine because I thought, I can't take this cat right now today to get it spayed or neutered. And I'm going to have to have an appointment. I'm going to have to know what I'm dealing with and take it in the same day. If I get it out of that trap, it's going to tear me up or tear Jason up without, you know, just inspecting it to see if it's been spayed or neutered. So my goal was to take it straight from the trap, straight to the vet. Got to make an appointment for that. So I didn't go get the trap after thinking things through and realizing I was probably making a hasty statement when I said that I needed to get a trap. There are 4 cats here, and I don't know what to make out of it. 2 of them look similar. They're gray and white. The newest one, we had just no idea we'd see number 4, and it is like a dark, almost black looking. Now, mind you, I was up at the house when I took the picture and zoomed in from down here, so it looks like just a spot, but I know it was a cat because I saw it walking. So we have 4 cats to deal with, and we're gonna go see about Pink. I'm thinking that these cats have probably been around for longer than what we realize, because you know, when I walked down to where the turkeys were that morning, I'd just seen them on the camera and they were nowhere to be seen when I got down there. I have a feeling that cats can hear just that good. And when they hear us walking, then they're skedaddling, and we've never seen them until now. There's no telling how long they've been coming down there. Of course, Pink gets fed in the barn, and for all we know, they could have been running her off, stealing her food. She's the most laid-back cat. Let's see, how many cats do we have? This is bad. We have 11 cats. That would be between our barn cats, my mama's cats, our inside cats, and Tucker and Pink. 11 cats. None of them are sweet as Pink. Lou, our newest little amputee, Lieutenant Dan, he's close. But I can't say for sure because he's not grown. He's young. So While he's sweet as can be now, Pink tops the charts with sweetness. When we lived at our old farm, my mama tried to bring Pink in her house. She just about went crazy. She just about ran up the wall. She was so just scared. And we have tried on other occasions to get Pink to live somewhere different, but she chose that old barn. It was safe, I think, for a very long time, but it's no longer safe. Not with 4 cats that are who knows what. So I literally just opened the door to the shop, and y'all will see she is not hiding. You're a dusty girl. Yes, you are. You're a mighty dusty girl. I got a stinky piece of wood there. Come here and show everybody how dusty you are. You've been working on SO, I bet. Y'all, I think this is gonna work. Jason thinks this is gonna work. There were 2 days that she spent time behind the benches and things back over here. When we came in and called her name, she'd come out, but you wouldn't see her until then, until you called her. Now, starting, well, I don't know, it's been a few days. Been a few days that every time we come in here, she's in the middle of the floor. She's laid out. She's got a little bed over here. She's been sleeping on it. Earlier, I told Jason, I said, you might want to roll your windows up in SO, not because she's going to take off and drive, but because she might start purring and tear your seats up. She came out of the inside of SO. So she's made herself right at home here in the shop, and I am so happy. I could not be happier. I have worried myself sick about this cat because she's just a love bug, y'all, and she wouldn't do any different. So we took a chance, Pink, by bringing you up here, and I think that in your mind, yes, I'm a cat mind reader, I think that you knew that this was a lot better situation for you than where you were down there in the old barn. And I have to agree. Let those old cats stay down there. And if they're spayed and neutered, they can stay here. I'll feed them down there. But I cannot have something reproducing and not be taken care of, because there's no way. Do y'all know how many kittens a cat can have in a short period of time if not spayed? And then how many impregnated cats a male can mate with in a short period of time? I can't have that. So number one priority is to figure out exactly how many there are. I've seen 4, there may be more, but we've got to get them scheduled, taken in, and examined. They've got to have a rabies shot. You can't have animals here without having a rabies vaccine. And like I said, as long as my animals are safe, I don't mind them staying down there. But it just got out of hand, didn't it, Pink? They ran you literally out of your house. She never had any injuries. We never saw any signs of any fighting, but she was looking around. She was looking over her shoulder, and I knew that was odd behavior. And then when I saw the cat going into the barn, I knew exactly why she had the odd behavior. Right, girl? And I've answered this question before, but some of you wondered why Pink has this little chip taken out of her ear right there. And this has nothing to do with us. We adopted Pink from that local animal shelter in Selma many, many years ago. I don't even remember how many years ago. And they did that to indicate she was spayed. Like these cats that are on our property. You know, they likely are not spayed or neutered. But if they were and they had done this, there would be no question. Now, it is a cosmetic defect, and I don't know if I agree with it or not, but it does make it easier if they are intended on being barn cats, or, you know, not in your house, not so close to being loved on by a family. It makes it easier to know that they are spayed or neutered. So now I'm on a mission. I am thankful to be in cahoots with the Chilton County TNR, Trap Neuter Return. You guys helped us raise money after Mr. Lou was rescued by us, and I have no doubt that they'll help me figure out what the best solution is for these cats. because there are 4 that need to be helped. Right, Pinky? No babies for you or any of our 11 cats here. They're all spayed and neutered. So you may wonder who 11 are. I am going to start with Biscuit, Bramble, Sylvester. They're in our barn. My mama has Mort, Sassy, Angora, and Miss Beasley. So that makes 7. We have Edgar, we have Lou. That makes 9. Then we have Tucker and Pink. That makes 11. How about that? 11 cats. And they're all appreciated and loved. Now, before I go, I want to see if I can't catch Jason. The weirdest thing just happened. He opened the door to the shop. He had his ear pods in. He never saw me. He did what he was going to do, which was plug in a light to make sure it was working, shut the door, and off he went. I was steadily saying, Jason, Jason. He didn't know I was here. So I'm going to go try to catch him, let him smell this piece of wood. What do you think about it? She doesn't care. She doesn't care. And see if he can't identify this before it just drives me crazy. Well, y'all, I found him. He was headed over to his side-by-side, and I handed him this piece of wood, and he immediately said, can I smell it?
That's what I want to do. I want to smell it.
You want to smell it? Well, guess what I brought it to you for?
What?
So you would smell it.
Really?
I brought it to you because I want to know what that is.
Man, I don't know.
Look at the bark.
It's pretty.
What do you think it is?
I'm not a big tree expert.
I know, but do you remember when you used to tell me slickamore?
Is that what it is?
Or your daddy would say slickamore?
Slickamore also has the bark that's peeling off of it in sheets.
I thought that's what that was. Is that not?
I don't think so. It might be. It might be. It's that or a birch. Some type of birch. I think you're right.
Well, it's got a very strong smell to it. So strong that it stopped me dead in my tracks when I was getting off the side-by-side.
Wow.
It just, the whole woods just smelled like that wood.
It smells good.
I don't know what it smells like, though.
It doesn't smell like the root they make root beer out of.
No.
What is it called? My mind's gone blank. We both can't remember. They're yelling at us right now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's such and such.
Well, I asked if anybody knew what this was, so.
I almost said it. I almost said it. Oh, God.
Sassafras.
Sassafras. I knew it started with an S. I almost said it.
Sassafras. That's not sassafras.
Mm-mm.
But it is something that has a strong smell to it.
I like it.
I had a bigger piece.
Did you get your tank out?
I did.
Oh, good.
I did. And it sounds like it's got rocks in it. And guess what?
What?
It's not magnetic, so does that mean it's aluminum?
That's weird.
Isn't it, though? And it's got a stamp on it. It says something Birmingham, Alabama.
But it's rusted.
Well, not really. It's not really rusted.
Galvanized. I've stuck my camera on galvanized before and it stuck. But
I think it's aluminum. I think it's
if
aluminum.
it is, that's
I did that same thing. I kept smelling it. Yeah, so you think take it to scrap metal?
Yeah, I don't know what we could use it for unless
Well,
you want to make a water drum out of it and cut in half.
I just couldn't figure what they used it for. I couldn't figure it.
Make that moonshine.
That's what I think. That's what we're going to do with it. Well, anyway, y'all, I don't have an answer for you about the tree, and we will do our best to figure that out, and I'm pretty sure you probably already have. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Till next time, y'all be good.